As much as I love the stock market, I'm always on the lookout for interesting ways to invest my money. So I thought I'd take you through some of the ways that you could invest your hard-earned money right now, which might be a little different from what you're used to hearing about, or maybe you've never thought about before. When it comes to growing your wealth, we can all agree that investing in the stock market is one of the best things that you can do. However, diversification is key, and there are some alternative investments that you should consider that have the potential to provide higher gains than the stock market. The first investment that I'll get into is property. Like investing in the stock market, property investment is incredibly popular, and while rule changes have meant that the UK has sort of left the golden age of the buy-to-let era, it is still one of the best performing asset classes that you can put your money into. The easiest way to explain how good of an investment property is by giving you a quick example. Say you buy a house for £200,000, you would need to put down a minimum of £20,000 as a deposit. You can expect the value of the house to rise to at least £300,000 within the next 15 years. That earns you an extra £100,000 in profit should you sell. On top of that, if you've rented the house over that period, then the money you would receive from your tenants could be used to pay off the mortgage. If the mortgage is £1,000 a month and you receive a monthly income of around £1,200, that can easily cover the mortgage, growing your equity in the property every month. Should you decide to sell the property 15 years down the line, you will have much higher equity, giving you a greater share of the profits from the sale. Alternatively, you can hold on to the property until the mortgage is cleared, and you will then have a nice form of passive income for pretty much the rest of your life. Now, there are some downsides. House prices can decline, interest rates can shoot up, and you may struggle to make the monthly mortgage repayments. This can lead to the property getting repossessed, but if you give yourself some breathing room and don't stretch yourself too thin, you should be able to see through any economic downturns. There is a shortage of houses in the UK, and we don't look to be meeting demand anytime soon. This makes property a great investment that should perform greater than the stock market. Next up at number 2 is high interest rate savings accounts. Now, in normal times, the last thing I would advise someone to do is to put their money into a high interest rate savings account over investing in the stock market. The last 10 years have seen historically low interest rates combined with a crazy bull run in the market, which means that if you parked your money into a savings account, you would be much more worse off today. However, times are changing rapidly, interest rates are rising, and you are able to get savings accounts that offer returns of up to 7%. The stock market isn't performing as well at the moment, so it could be a good idea to diversify a little and park some of your cash to secure those guaranteed returns. Now, it's an important thing to understand that although savings accounts are pretty much risk-free, they aren't the best when it comes to fighting inflation, which is why I recommend just having a portion of your portfolio in high interest rate savings accounts rather than going all out. Next up at number 3 is premium bonds. Premium bonds are able to beat the stock market if you're lucky. For every £1 that you put into premium bonds, you get a 1 in 21,000 chance of winning in the monthly prize draw. So the more money you put in, the more chances you have at winning. Premium bonds are backed up and secured by the government, so they are a very safe place to park up some of your spare cash. Now, it is important to understand that returns are not guaranteed with premium bonds, but if you treat it as a sort of risk-free lottery, it can be pretty fun checking to see if you have won every month. However, if you are looking for something a little more consistent or in your control, then number 4 might be of interest for you. Before we get into that, don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and while you're down there, make sure to hit the like button as well. So back to number 4, which in my opinion is one of the most important investments that you can ever make in your life, and if done correctly, will almost certainly help you outperform the stock market at any time, and that is to invest in yourself. Now, what I mean by investing in yourself is to look to build yourself up to be the best version of yourself that you can be, whether that means gaining skills, getting fit, trying new things, or working on developing your own business and side hustles. If you're able to spend time learning some skills, that could then directly translate to a higher paying job. Say you spend 30 hours learning Prince 2, and that enables you to get a project management job paying £20,000 more than your previous salary. That would be a great return on your time and financial investment. You can go a step further and start your own business in your spare time. One of the most important lessons that you need to know about finance is it takes money to make money, and if you're able to invest a small amount into your own business and give it time and effort, you can continue to reinvest those profits and scale up. A successful business would provide a greater ROI than the stock market ever could. But the only way that you can be successful is to invest in yourself and have the confidence and belief that you can succeed. Next up at number 5, we have a little bit of a shortcut. If you have decent capital to play with, rather than struggling and starting from the bottom with starting your own business, you can simply buy someone else's business. Now technically, when you're buying stocks, you own a portion of the business, but you're not really in charge of the business decisions made, and you aren't getting a serious cut of the profits either. Now, if you're able to find a small business that's for sale, investing in that could be the key to building generational wealth. The business could be anything from an online Shopify store to a social media marketing agency. As long as it's profitable, that's all that matters. When buying a business, there are plenty of risks to take into account. Why are the owners selling? After all, would you sell a highly profitable business? I wouldn't. But there can be some circumstances where others will. Say for example, an opportunity comes to invest in an even better business and you need to raise some capital quickly, it might be worth taking the risk. Now some people may claim to have a highly profitable business, but they're selling because they know something is going to happen in the future to change that and are trying to cash out. That's why I recommend researching thoroughly and only pulling the trigger if you're 100% sure on what you're doing. The final investment type on our list is cryptocurrency. Now I have a lot of experience with crypto. Plenty of ups and downs. In fact, percentage wise, I have easily made more money on crypto than just about any other form of investment other than my own business. I've probably also lost more as well, but let's not talk about that part. Crypto is a high risk, high reward investment type. The way I always went about investing is by putting in an amount that I was comfortable letting go down to zero and letting it ride. By doing this, I was never really worried or stretching myself too thin. Now there are a few things to note. 90% of crypto is a fraud and a scam designed to rob you of your money, but larger coins like Ethereum and Bitcoin are much more safe and have significantly outperformed the stock market, even taking into account the recent crypto crash. Lots of people believe that the days of making crazy gains on crypto are over, but I think that now could be a good time to invest, and there is potential for certain coins to outperform the stock market over the next couple of years. Or the bubble can burst and it could crash even further, who knows. Either way, I hope you guys have found this video useful and maybe it's made you think of some other kinds of investments rather than just investing in the stock market. Now the big question is, what are you going to do? Let me know in the comment section below, and if I've missed anything on the list that you think is worth talking about, please do let me know. On that note, I'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, happy investing.